Alright, what's up? So in today's video, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be painting the fender from my Harley. When I bought the bike, a little flashback, when I bought the bike, the guy had the fender off because he liked the way it looked and he thought it was cool. He also had this fender, the tank, and the rear fender powder coated as well as the wheels. Well, looking at this fender, I don't really think that this was powder coated very well. I mean, there's so many blemishes and so many paint chips, and this is like 3M taped on there. Like, I'm pretty sure they came factory with a rivet somewhere in there, but I'm not positive. But this looks like crap, to be honest, and I would not put this on my bike. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be taking this off, sanding the whole thing down, and then clear coating it and painting it like either a flat black or kind of like a matte black. I don't know yet. I'm gonna go to Home Depot or Walmart or one of those places and find some paint. But to start, we got some sandpaper, we got some 150, and then we got some 200 grit. And then to start, I tested this on another piece from a bike. I'm gonna use this little metal, I don't know what you want to call it, wire wheel, and this will take off the first layer of paint, which will make it a lot easier than sanding the whole thing, just because, I mean, it's connected to a drill, so all you gotta do is just turn it on and then go ahead and sand it all off. But first I'm going to start by removing this and then get to the sanding portion. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple of flatheads and kind of work my way around the edges and try to just get this to pull off. Well, that wasn't too hard. It looks like he just had some 3M tape on there and probably centered it by looking at it or something, but that came off pretty easily, so I'm just going to take the rest of this tape off since we don't need this on there. I don't got to worry about scratching the paint because I'm going to be redoing that anyways. Alright, so now that we got this crappy piece off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the drill and I'm just going to start sanding away at it, and well, or wire wheeling away at it, that way I can take off the first layer of paint. As you can see, with about 2 minutes of sanding, not even 2 minutes of sanding or wire wheeling, look at how easy that paint comes off. Obviously this paint isn't that good, or whatever he used is not that good of paint because it comes off that easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest and then bring you guys back when I'm done with that. Alright, so I pretty much got this whole thing sanded and wire wheeled down, so it looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 150 grit sandpaper and I am going to just kind of do a nice rough layer of it, just go over the whole thing pretty much and just try to get any extra bumps and crevices out of this. It doesn't have to be perfect since it's pretty much all sanded down, but just a nice little rough up can't hurt. Alright, so now that the 150 grit is pretty much done, take the 200 grit. I'm just going to lightly go over it again just to kind of smooth it out just a little bit. Alright, so after we got done sanding it, we went and we washed it off, just rinsed it off with soapy water and then just rinsed it with water. And as you can tell, it's dry to the touch, everything like that. We let it dry for quite some time now. And we got it hanging here so that we can paint it and everything like that. We just got back from Home Depot. We went and got some Rust-Oleum paint and primer. It's wet sandable or sandable, so maybe we'll do that. And then I just got the lady recommended some Rust-Oleum gloss, exactly what I wanted. She said this is perfect for metal and automotive use, so we got some of that. And then we got some hardware to reinstall it, just 2-inch bolts, should be good for just reinstalling it, and then some nuts and some washers. So now we're just going to go ahead and do a primer coat on this. Alright, so instead what we decided to do is just put it on the table first just to get the majority of this, and and then after we'll hang it and I'll do the underside. I didn't sand the underside. This is gonna be right where the tire is, so it doesn't really matter. It's gonna get dirty and everything anyways. So we'll just primer this as well and paint it black, but this should go over real easy. Alright, so now we got 2 coats on it as it sits. As you can see, when the primer's wet, it's more black. When it's dry, it's more gray. I guess I read the can and that's just what it's supposed to do. So we're gonna do 3 coats of this Rust-Oleum Automotive Primer, and then we're gonna move over, let this dry for about a half an hour, and then we're gonna move over to this, the gloss black. But I also gotta hang it up so I could do the other underside of it and everything like that. So I'm gonna hang it, and then we're gonna do the primer, and then we're gonna do the black. But for the time being, I might put another quick coat on this, just of primer, and then we'll go from there. This is where I'm gonna conclude today's video. As you can see, or you saw, we got the fender pretty much painted. It looks pretty good. It's gonna take too long to dry, so I'm just gonna end the video as it is here.